Hi, my name is Claire and I really like to knit. I've already done 3 parts of a Peek into my knitted wardrobe series. In those episodes, I've shown you all of my knitted wardrobe pieces. Well, the ones I still have anyway, because I've gifted a lot of them away. So in this last episode, I will show you all the accessories that I have made that I currently have, and also maybe a little tour around my knitted wardrobe, and I'll try to find some footage of my pieces that have been gifted. I hope you like this video and like and subscribe if you want to see more. I've pulled a few things from different parts of the house. This one here is a lovely cowl from the book Small Knits. I found this book in the City Council Library and I just love it. It's a Japanese book translated into English, and I've made at least 3 things out of there, maybe even 4. So it's just a quick little infinity cowl in like a herringbone kind of pattern. Is this a herringbone pattern? No, it's a zigzag pattern. Isn't it cute? So I wear it crossed over, and I wore it most recently in Europe. I can't even remember if this was in my last video. It may have been. Anyway, but it was a knurl yarn, and I held it with a strand of pink mohair, and the contrast color is the white. It's a white merino by Brooklyn Tweed. I think it's the Puri. So it just looks lovely. I really like the neons. I actually pulled out all of the browns in the knurl because I really don't like brown. So it just looks like a beautiful pink neon cowl. Wore this in Europe, loved it, but it was a little bit itchy. I think that's because of the drops mohair. The second one is my Foxy Muffler. This one was finished very recently, so I'll link the video above. It is made with drops alpaca yarn, and the gold is a mohair from Paris. I love it. I haven't worn it yet. It's only just cooled down here in Brisbane. It is just so cute. So cute. And I cannot wait to wear it out in public. It's a very simple tube. So you knit it back and forth in tarsia and then seam it in the back. See? So it's actually really easy. And this is from a Japanese knitting book as well, which I don't know the name of it in English because it's all in Japanese, but I'll show you a photo of it. Next two are my all-time, and then we've got my all-time favorite, the Lapwing Collar. This is an Alice Starmore design, and it is just incredible. The first time I saw it on Pinterest, I fell in love, and this was years ago, and I just pinned it and loved it, and then I found it is designed by Alice Starmore, and she actually sells the pattern and kit on her website. So I ordered it straight away and I made it, and yeah, one of my favorite all-time pieces. I wear it all the time, and people always comment on it and say how amazing it is. Most recently, I made it another version in neon colors, and there's a video here as well. This one is, I use a whole bunch of different yarns like Pearl Soho, Brooklyn Tweed Puri, and May, I think. It's all linked in my Ravelry page, and yeah, I really like it too. It's just a completely different feel to this green one. This is a rustic sticky yarn from, it's a Hebridean yarn from Scotland, whereas this one is all very modern yarns. I think I'm going to be gifting it to someone who is not expecting it, so they should be very happy. And now we've got this drawer here. In this drawer, I keep all of my accessories like hats and scarves. I rarely ever get to use them, definitely not in Australia because it's hot. So these are really things I wear when we go overseas. And I put all my kids' ones here as well because, do I have all of the kids? Yeah, so all of the kids' ones are here as well. Firstly, I've got the good old double layer tube hat. This is one of those designs that's a tube and you just, fold it in half. This was knit with drops air. Need some fiddling around to tuck it back in. It was made with drops air. Drops air is a funny yarn. I don't like it when I'm knitting with it, but when it's finished, it looks expensive. It looks amazing. I wore this in Europe because my son wouldn't wear it, and it was so warm. It was amazing. Then I've got a bit of air left, so I made another beanie. What is this brown one? I think the brown is a Merino Aria, Rowan Merino Aria, leftover from my son's jumper, and then used leftover air to finish the top. Also meant to be worn in Europe, but the boys didn't wear it. I think it looks okay. This is from the Small Knits book that I just talked about. It's like little cute beret. Absolutely stunning design, but I didn't choose the right yarn because everything was in Japanese. I tried to Google translate it. The yarns are Japanese yarn as well. So I chose the wrong one. It should have been worsted, and this is fingering. So it is so small. So one day I will make another version of this because it's so cute, but this is not wearable. It's just keeping it here to look at. But yeah, look at this design. Isn't it gorgeous? Yeah, I will make her. I think I will make another version in a worsted yarn. This is a beanie that this is a beret that I wear all the time. I actually made a version for my best friend, sent it to her in Hong Kong, and she loved it. And while I was making it, I really liked it too. So I made another one for myself. The yarn is Suri, and I can't remember what the grey is. It'll be my Ravelry. But this yarn came from the La Bien-Aimée et Le Garçon crossover, Christmas crossover mystery box a few years ago. And the design is from Drops. But yeah, I love it. And I wear it every winter if we go overseas. Then we've got the Sophie Scarf. Everyone's got to have a Sophie Scarf. I made this with magpie fibers. And I used 2 strands to get the DK weight. I wore this in Paris, and yeah, it's really cute and warm, but it's a little bit short and I don't like things around my neck, so it's a bit awkward. And also magpie fibers I think is a super wash, so it's quite slippery. Like if it's not centered, it easily slips off my neck because it's heavy. Otherwise, yeah, it's a good color and it goes with a lot of things. This hat I made a while ago. It's the Torque Hat free pattern on Ravelry, and the yarn is Wandering Flock, and I have a matching, and this is a leftover yarn from when I made the framework bralette in one of my previous videos. Then I got a little alpaca pom-pom. This is so cute. It's so soft. Love this pom-pom. I think I've worn this beanie a couple of times. It's just a little bit too bright. So if you go hiking or something, this will be a perfect beanie to make sure if you get lost, somebody will find you. I do love the yarn. This set, it was a pain to do. This set was such a difficult project, which I powered through. However, I used a cheap yarn that I bought when I was in China quite a few years ago. It is an Entrelac design from an Entrelac book. It's a Japanese Entrelac book that I bought a few years ago. Very interesting designs, so I really wanted to make things out of it. But back then I didn't really understand buying good yarn, so I made it in a yarn that I didn't really like, in a color that doesn't suit me. So I've never worn it, but it just, I keep it because it looks beautiful. Look at this beautiful leaf detail. There's a bit of piped vine all through the middle, and that was a bloody pain to do. Also, the book was in Japanese, so it took me ages to figure out. But basically, you have to pick up along this whole line and knit, I don't know, about 10 rows and then fold it over. Something like that. There, it was not easy, but I got there, and there's some beautiful leaf patterns on there. And the hat was also in Entrelac, matching pattern with leaves and these piped bits and a little knobby. Yeah, so it does look gorgeous. So maybe one day I'll make it again in a better yarn. But Entrelac is not easy to do. It's not easy to do. I need to be in the right frame of mind to start Entrelac again. All right, next. What's this? Blue Star Cowl. This is the Blue Star Cowl by Max the Knitter, Maxim Sir. I made this for my husband, and of course my husband never wore it. I made this for when we went to Iceland because I thought it was going to be freezing and scarves, they're so cumbersome. So I thought I'd make a cowl with the little tie. Right? Yeah, I think he wore it once. He complained it was too itchy. The brown is the Room Natura Gillette. The beige is virtual yarns and the blue is magpie fibers, same as this one. So I think the yarn differences were all too great. You got like a worsted sticky yarn, then I did a 2-ply of a fingering sticky yarn, and the magpie was not sticky. So it looks amazing, but it probably was not the best yarn choice for this design. And there was way too much stranding across here. I love how Max does a lot of zigzag designs, but I don't like how much stranding there is because you can see the blue coming through. If I don't catch the yarn, then it's too much stranding. If I do catch it, the blue comes through. Maybe just the way I knit it, but you can even see it's not a straight tube because the yarn choice. Wrong yarn choice. Otherwise, I do love the design. I've got a pair of cute little gloves. They got little hearts on them. This is a adapted design from Drop's website. I think I put some elastic in there, yeah. I threaded some elastics there in the wrist just to help with the gloves falling off. And I wore this in Iceland. The yarn is Newton plus a strand of mohair. What I also did was, because you need to use your phone, but when you have gloves on, how are you going to use the phone? You have to take the glove off, put it in your pocket, use the phone, and there's a good chance of dropping it. So I made little holes here so I can take out my index and forefinger, no, my thumb and my forefinger, grab my phone and swipe. It definitely helped when I was in Iceland. Another magpie fibers finished object, pair of gloves for my husband. I think it was also a Drops design, and I also made little holes for his thumb and forefinger. Did he wear it? I think he did wear it. Made this pair of gloves in a Drops alpaca for my son for Europe. He wanted them in yellow because he's 11 years old and he likes toilet humor, so he wanted a pair of urine colored gloves, and he did wear them. They're pretty small, so don't know who's going to wear it next year. Hat again. This is from the Small Knits book, number 3, the third thing that's in this part here. It's this intricate cabled hat. Love it. I used 3 strands of knitting for olive merino, and because it was supposed to be worsted weight. I think 3 strands made it a little bit too thick and stiff. Still, it looks amazing. I like it. I don't think I wore it yet. Yeah, we definitely need to go somewhere cold so I can wear it. One more pair of gloves. Fourth thing from the Small Knits book. Told you I like that book, right? This is a pair of fingerless mittens. That's the front and that's the back. Isn't it beautiful? Beautiful, beautiful design. I love it. I think I did wear this. Yes, I did wear this in Paris. The yarn is Bichet Bouche, Petit Laine, that's grey, and the white will be on my Ravelry. I think it's a Fibre Co something. It was also a luxury yarn. Yeah, perfect. Really good for those cold days, but not too cold and you need your fingers. And just looks gorgeous. The colors, they look classy. So, yeah. Love these. There's still a couple of things in the Small Knits book I may want to knit one day. This should be going into my failed bucket. It's a little singlet I made from the Drops website. Pretty sure I didn't do the straps right because it's supposed to be like a twisted cable strap, but it doesn't sit properly. So I'm pretty sure something didn't twist right. The yarn is a cheap merino from Lincraft, our general crappy yarn store. No, a general crappy craft store. So the yarn's not great, color's not great, and I don't like it. It's gonna go in my donation pile, I think. Maybe I just keep it to have a look at. I bought one of those Sentro knitting machines a while ago where you wind things into a tube. So I made this tube hat. I sewed it together. The outside is a Drops big merino, and inside is Gillette. And I really don't like Gillette. I don't know what the big deal is. Don't like the feel of it. I don't know. Just felt like winding up some scrap yarn one day as a beanie. It is tiny. It's not going to fit anybody. I think I may unpick this and put in my scrappy blanket. What a silly idea. But yes, that is all in my accessories drawer. There is not a lot in here because just not cold enough in Australia to need too much accessories. However, when we do go overseas, everyone's got something. There is something here for everyone. We can share because most of these are pretty neutral colors. When we were in Europe over last Christmas, the boys didn't really wear any of them because it was a really warm time when we were there. Like it was between 2 to 10 degrees pretty much everywhere we went every day. So we barely got to wear all of the thick woolies, and the boys were complaining they were overdressed and heating and burning the whole time. Otherwise, thank you for watching this. I'm going to pop this back and then I'm going to walk around and show you my knitted wardrobe. If you remember at the end of video 3, my little glass cabinet was overflowing, it was too full. So I had to do some rearranging. And so now let me show you the finished result. So here is my updated wardrobe. It's a bit messy again because I've been wearing things out of the wardrobe. I've taken out a lot of the things in here and I've just put light colored items. So I've got my whites, yellows, light blues, pinks, and some reds. I asked my son for some color advice and that's what he's recommended. There's a couple of things that I'm currently wearing, so they are out here for airing, and there's some random crap everywhere. And then, so what I had to do is ignore the sides of the wardrobe. What I had to do is put a lot of my knitwear up here. Oh, there's more Lego. So this is the end of our wardrobe, walking wardrobe. When we bought the house, the previous owners had shoes here, but we're Asians, we keep our shoes outside. So this is my knitted wardrobe. I've got my things I never wear on the top there. I've already talked about these. Then I've got my dark colors. I've got my Elwood is downstairs. That's why there's a big gap there. Got my beiges and some other dark colors. These are some pinks I never wear, so they are sitting here. Got my dark maroons and reds. My 2 West Knits shawls and some color work tops. Dress, jacket, skirt. Got my color works here. These are my summer tops. These actually, this one and that one, they're my summer tops. And then these are my store-bought jumpers. There's still quite a few, however, I really like them all. So, and I never get to wear them really because I have so many beautiful hand knitted jumpers. But I love them all. So, and they're all really good quality. These are really nice base pieces. These are beautiful cashmeres that I was gifted or bought. And then there's some really thin jumpers. However, yeah, as you can see, I do have a lot of knitwear. Probably more knitwear than I would need for the rest of my life. But I am still knitting. And lastly, there are some archival pieces that I have dug up at Mum's house. So I've taken some videos of them and I will pop them in here. This blue jumper, Mum actually knit this one, and it's from a Lincraft yarn. They called it the Chanel yarn because it had a bit of lyrics in it, and Mum tried to knit me a little blue Chanel jumper. Unfortunately, I never wore it. I think I just don't like it, so I never wore it. And that has now gone to the donation bin. The next one is my first attempt at the balloon jumper. The balloon jumper is Petite Knits pattern, and I made it with an alpaca from Spotlight, another budget craft store here in Australia. Of course, I made it too big, and even though all the boards were the same color batch, half of them were too dark, so you can't actually see a huge color difference. I gave it to Mum for a while because it was so big. Again, she never wore it, so now that has also gone to the donation pile. Next, we have Missoni Accomplished. This one I actually like a lot. I made this for myself using the Pearl Soho yarn. It's a sport weight alpaca, finest alpaca, I think. And the white is 2 strands of something, which is on my Ravelry. I loved it. It was a tiny bit big for me. My mum loved it even more. So she's got it, and I think she wears it quite often. So at least that's that. And then this brown mohair cardigan, that was the first piece I made during COVID when I got back into knitting. It was just a cheap mohair from Lincraft with this beautiful brown and blue variegation. And it actually wasn't too bad. I coupled it with a blue sparkly strand. No, I coupled it with this strand of polyester and sparkle. It was gifted to me from a Japanese friend. So I paired it together, saw something on Pinterest, so I just whipped it up from my mind. It was just a rectangular piece with 2 rectangular pieces in the front and 2 puffy sleeves. No shaping at all. And Mum loved it, so she took it. She said actually my 2 front pieces were different length, so she actually fixed it and made them the same length. And I think she does wear it from time to time, which is good, not wasted. This is a top. I think it was a drops pattern and a Lincraft merino. Again, if I'm going to be spending time on knitting, I've now learned to use nice yarn. This yarn was not nice. It felt like crepey kind of fabric. The color was awful, and I just never wore it. And the buttons didn't match. I think Mum tried to do something to it. That's why the armholes are all unraveled. But now it's gone to the donation bin. If someone can fix it, they will be very welcome to it. I spent so much time on that jumper. Again, number 1 lesson, use good yarn. This jumper, it's a beautiful cashmere boucle from woollyyarn.com. And I only made this about a year ago. Just a very basic design. I don't even remember what the design is. Very basic stocking stitch design. It was so warm and cuddly and soft to wear because the woolly yarns, I love them. So it was very expensive too. I think the yarn was about 50 euros compared to the rest of their yarns. But it was lovely, and Mum loved it even more than me, so she has stolen it. And I do know that she wears it all the time because it's very warm. And I've got this cardigan that I made using Celana bulky possum wool. Can't remember what it's called now. I think Mum bought the yarn from New Zealand a while ago. It's Celana, and it's a worsted weight. And I created this cardigan just from a basic cardigan from Drops. And it's super duper warm. Mum wears it almost every day because she loves it. So in winter, she'll probably be wearing it. And the Celana wool is so hardy. It never peeled. She's been wearing it for 3 years now, and it still looks perfect. So I'm glad she was able to use it. But as you can see, there's a pattern where she steals my knitted garments all the time. Sometimes she likes it and she'll wear them. Sometimes she never wears them and gives it back to me after a year. Well, that concludes the last episode of Peek Inside My Knitted Wardrobe. I hope you enjoyed it. I usually create vlogs for every project that I'm making from beginning to finish. So if you like that type of content, please subscribe.
Making me hate you, probably think it's painful, but really I'm grateful. I think I've seen this before. This is the part where you say you want me to. I say I love you, then you go act a fool. That's how the story goes, just wanna let you know, no need to shoot.